Hey guys, it's me, Mama C, coming at you live from West Tennessee. Today I'm going to talk to you a basic overview of Money Magick, just kind of a few um, different tools and basics and things, because I'm going to start on a newsletter series next week, a 3-part newsletter series on Money Magick from the basics up to the more complicated. Some of you guys might have seen already the spell I posted today on Facebook. That's my Facebook page, facebook.com/mamacs, MAMACS. It's a prosperity spell that can be used for a person or business, tailored for either one, and that's out there on the newsletter today, and it's out there on the Facebook page today. That's, again, in preparation for a 3-part series I'm going to be doing it via video and via newsletter for the next few weeks. So I thought I'd just give you an overview today of kind of how I feel about Money Magick. Now, money is something that pretty much, unless you're totally off the grid and self-sufficient, you can't live without. I mean, we all got to have it. And here's the thing. There seems to be this sort of odd feeling going around with some people in the witchcraft community. I don't know if it's because they're new, or I don't know if it's because somebody told them that, or they read it somewhere, that you're not supposed to use magic for personal gain. That is something that they made up for the TV show Charmed. Okay? We use magic not to harm. No. At least in my tradition, we use magic, do no harm. But it's not that we can't have anything for personal gain. I mean, why be a witch unless you can manifest things for yourself? That's part of what spell work is. So there's an abundance of money in the world. We all know that there are plenty of CEOs, bank officers, and all of those jackasses like that that make way too much money for what they do. Believe me, I've worked for some of them in the past. They get these $1 million vacations and everything else. Well, why can't we have some of that excess money that's floating around trickle down to us? Now, here's the biggest problem with Money Magick. When you do Money Magick, money wants to have a place to come from and a place to go to. So you can throw out a lottery spell, you can throw out just a generic money spell, and they're not going to have near as much success as a very particular spell will. And I'll get into that more in next week's newsletter with the basics of Money Magick. And there are tons and tons of tools that you can use for enhancing your Money Magick. I keep things going all the time for bringing money in because I'm self-employed. You know, you have your highs, you have your lows, you have your really highs, and you have your, oh God, this fucking sucks. You know, and this time of year is a tough time of year for everybody. You know, we've gotten past the holidays. We've got these dreary blahs outside, which just, I don't know, they make me depressed. A lot of times you got taxes due, you're going through paying off holiday bills, you've got, you know, changes in insurance plans, you've got all of these different things that seem to tax your budget. Now, when I talk about money wanting to come from somewhere and go somewhere, when you ask for it in a spell, I have a hard time really, and it's very heartbreaking when I have people that are on fixed incomes contact me about doing Money Magick. That is very difficult unless they have some other skill or some other possibility of gaining money into their life. That spell is going to be a lot harder than it is for somebody like you or me who has multiple avenues. I mean, I do consulting, I do readings, I have 4 websites where I sell products. So I have plenty of avenues where when I do a money spell, this money can, it has an entryway. It has a way to come to me. And I am also willing to put in the work to make that happen. Doing a money spell is just like doing a job spell. If you do a money spell and then you sit on your ass and you don't do anything about it, you don't go anywhere or do anything to try to earn the money, well, you know, it's likely that that spell is not going to work. Just like when you do a new job spell, if you don't answer ads, go to interviews, or send resumes, well, you've kind of screwed yourself up. So anyway, back to Money Magick. It needs to have a pathway. It helps if you have a specific amount in mind. It's okay to ask for $1 million, but it's more likely that you are going to get the results faster if you ask for a raise, a promotion, a new contract, success with your business, extra work to come to the side. You never know sometimes where that money's going to come from. I've had people say, oh God, I was just dead broke. And then my neighbor said, hey, I'll give you $500 if you'll help me paint my house. It's cheaper than hiring a contractor. That is a successful money spell. You never know where it's going to be coming from. So you have to be open to new opportunities. That is a big part of the money spell. The more directions you give it to come in, the more likely it is that that money spell is going to be successful. And then you have all the different tools that you can work with and all the different spell work you can do. This is just kind of a basic overview here of a few things that we make and that I use in the shop. Now, as far as herbs are concerned, there are dozens of herbs that can be used in Money Magic. The basic ones that I stick with, and I think it's just because I always have them on hand, I have a lot of practice using and mixing them, and I know how they're going to work, is dragon's blood, patchouli leaf, basil, jasmine, peppermint, and highjohn. Those combinations used in poppets, used in charm bags, used in incense blends, together or separately, individually, are great money drawing scents. They're ones that you can wear as perfumes. The money drawing scents that I mix here in the shop, the conjure oils, you're guaranteed that one of those scents is probably going to be in that blend. You know, I have different blends. I have booming business, and I have money drawing, and I have fast money, and I have luck with money. I call it, you know, they're all slightly different based on the situation it is that you're looking for. But those scents are ones that I use a whole lot because they are always successful. I mean, I go with what works, and I've been doing this for, you know, nearly 20 years now. So why change something that doesn't need to be fixed? Other things that you can use are, of course, talismans. You can find all kinds of pendants. Like this one is a rose quartz that I wear, but they make these type in aventurine and bloodstone and other type stones that are really good for money drawing. Cowrie shells. If you've ever seen people wearing, you know, like cowrie shell bracelets, these are cowrie shells. Cowrie shells are really important in a lot of different traditions, in folk magic, in Southern hoodoo, in African tribal magic. They used to be used as money, and now they are symbolic of money in a lot of the magics that we work with. You can wear these as jewelry. They're made into bracelets. You can tie them onto something. I mean, I make things out of these too. You can put them in a charm bag. But cowrie shells and they're fun to kind of, I mean, holding them in your hand, you can kind of feel the power. This is a fertility type. I mean, if you look at it, what does this look like? Okay, yeah, it looks like looks like lady parts, right? Okay, that's a fertility, and fertility and money. Those spell work types often go together because getting money is getting a kind of fertility. Okay, anyway, so these feel good in your hand, and so, you know, just kind of juggling them around or putting them in a charm bag that you play with every once in a while, something like that. That's a good way to kind of keep your money magic active. Okay, and speaking of stones, these are the 3 stones that I use on my altar. In the little money area that I have on my altar. One of them, this is green aventurine. Okay, this is a great big piece of raw aventurine that I've had for many, many, many years, and it is in the money section of my altar. So is this. This is a large piece of raw emerald. Looks different than it does when it's cut up in a pretty ring, doesn't it? But I just love this stone. When you feel it, it vibrates. It has so much power to it. Just like, oh, you give you a little shiver. Anyway, this emerald was a hard find, but it was well worth waiting for, and I've had it for a number of years now. But and then I have this clear quartz point. If you see, this point right here is one of my most valuable piece of crystal tools because I use it as an energy director. You can lay it to point, see, point, energy point, to whatever. So sometimes if I need an extra boost, I can put these 2 together, or even these 3 together, And you get that extra power boost because that's what quartz crystal is for. It's an amplifier. It's an amplifier and it's a record keeper. So this particular piece, being a point, is an amplifier for magic. So that, along with this, usually stays in the money corner of my altar. This is a candle that I make here in the shop. This is Mama C artwork. Yeah, or non-artwork as it is. You know, I never say I'm an artist. I just say that all of my magical tools that I hand make come from the heart. And so what you've got here is you've got this candle, which I've painted, and then you've got an invocation on this side that you can read when you light the candle. And once the candle burns out that's originally in the jar, all you got to do is drop another green pillar candle in it, and you can keep using it forever, or until it cracks, you know, because sometimes the glasses do get hot and crack. Or it may crack to tell you that it's time to change out that spell. But yeah, this is one that we make here in the shop. The invocation is written by me. But that constitutes the money corner of my altar. There's also little spell boosters that when you're just seem to having kind of a little dip. This is a money griggery bag that we make here in the shop. And then this is Call Money incense. Burn this 3 times a day and carry your money griggery bag. You have to breathe into it 3 times first. And that's what I call my money booster pack. You'll see that on the website as the money booster, because what that is when you're having just a little bit of a slump and you need some pick-me-up, this usually will do the trick. When you can't burn incense, we have money mist. Okay? This one smells a lot like the money incense, except for it's a spray. So if you are in a real estate office or a retail establishment, or if you're, say, a performer that takes tips, or a waitress or something like that, this is something good to spray your order pad with. You can spray yourself with it. You can spray your room with it. You can spray your costumes with it. And it's a money mist. It won't hurt your clothes. It's just made of distilled water and essential oils. And that is a money attracting scent for when you can't use incense. This is another one of the smaller candles that we make here in the shop. This is a 50-hour money drawing candle. This is being used for specific money drawing spells. It's not a general like the 7-day one is, but this one is for a specific money drawing spell, like the prosperity spell that I put out today. And then extras like this. This is one of our car charms. Okay, this is filled with herbs and gemstones, and it comes with a candle, a green candle, and a bottle of oil, of our money oil, to refresh it with. And what you do is you just follow the spell that I've written that comes with it, and has directions, and it has an invocation that goes with it. And then you take that and you hang it in your car. If you are a traveling salesman, or if you work for, say, like the beer company where you can upsell as you go along, or the Coke company, or you know, any place where you're making money out of your vehicle, this is a charm. I do the hand beating on this myself, and this is a runic work to attract money. Okay, and then for those of you who just want to keep an extra little oomph around all the time, attract riches sachets. All these are, this is a form, it's an old form really of folk magic, traditional gree-gree, Southern folk magic. These are sachets that we hand sew here in the shop, and they are stuffed with cotton and herbs and oils and gemstones that are specifically for attracting money. And they come with instructions like this. And all you do is you pop them in a drawer, or you can put them under the seat of your car, or you can put them anywhere that you can activate the energy. That where you want to attract money. Heck, they can go under your desk at work. They smell great. I mean, all of them smell really good, so it's, you know, kind of like having an air freshener with an extra oomph to it. Okay? Now, with money magic, the most important thing to remember is, and there's just no easy way to put it, if you're a fuck up with money, you can do all the money magic that you want, and you're really probably not going to do anything other than just keeping, you know, paying bills at the last minute, paying bills at the last minute, paying bills at the last minute. If you are bad with money, you need to get someone to help you get a budget together and get yourself under control. If you have a problem with credit cards, you need to cut them up. We've all been there. I've been there. I've been there to the point where I overspend, and then I get myself straightened out, and then I got to the point where I did it one more time again. And I guess third time the charm, because then you kind of learn, or maybe it just comes with maturity of learning to say no and learning to say, okay, these are just the essentials that I need right now. I've got to take care of my essentials. I've got to take care of my needs before I take care of my wants. And so if you're really bad at managing money, get help. Get a neighbor or friend or someone that you trust to sit down and work out a budget to help you see where your money is going. And then you have to learn to get control of your money. I will tell you, Devin Hunter, who you know from Modern Witch Podcast, one of my buddies who I just adore beyond all belief. We were talking. He does a reading for me every year, and he did one for my birthday. And I was talking about some struggles that we were having with the business because we were going through some growing pains. And he said, Leanne, the problem is that you need to learn to make money your bitch. And you know what? That was probably some of the best advice that I have gotten, because instead of sitting and worrying about where it's going to come from or how I'm going to do this, this is where it's going to come from, and this is how I'm going to do this. There's a difference. It's a matter of confidence, and like you said, making money your bitch, not letting it control you, but you controlling it. And that was a very sage piece of advice during a reading. That one sticks with me, and is definitely worth sharing. Thanks, Deb, for that. You need to get yourself under control before you can do any real money magic. And the first newsletter that I produce next week will be on the basics and on some of that. But this video at least will give you some prior time to think about if you're in a place right now where you would like to have more money, or you're seriously in need of more money, or you have money but you would like to figure out how to do more to make yourself even more comfortable, because that's okay. It's okay if you make plenty of money right now and still want more. There is money all over the world to be had, and there is no reason why you shouldn't have some of it, as long as you're not harming anybody. Now, stealing, doing dishonest things, that kind of thing, yeah, well, that's probably going to kind of come back karmically on your money magic and make it not work. But still, if you're doing things that are working in a positive manner and aren't causing anybody any harm, there is no reason why you shouldn't have the money to reward yourself for it. So anyway, these videos are, as you know, unscripted. It's just me up here talking. So if you have any questions, you can email me at mamacreepy@mamacreepy.com, or get me on the Facebook page at facebook.com/mamacs, MAMACS. You'll see the prosperity spell there that I posted today. And next week we'll get together and talk more about specific money magic, going from the basics over the next few weeks up into the more complicated stuff. So you guys have a great week, and blessed be.